And here's one of my newest characters. I say newest, I kind of revived him because I had the concept, but I have more of a concept now. And I show the ink because the sketch is just, a little light. But we'll see that as we go. Let's get into it. So originally I was going to just use these India ink pens and maybe do just some kind of shading with them or tried to do something cool, and I very quickly decided that, okay, this ain't happening. It just, none of it was looking good. It doesn't look quite as bad on camera, but it looked a lot worse in person. So then I just restarted. And I left my fail in there because, sometimes we fail at things. It's okay. It happens. We can admit it without the world blowing up. And so because originally I was going to do this all in ink. So I was probably going to use like the India ink markers, whatever you want to call them, that I have, and my Copic alcohol markers. But, it's hard to find a very pale color, and I just did not have a gray light enough for what I wanted to do in the hair, which actually I didn't end up using any gray to begin with. Yeah, it was meant to be like a very light gray hair, and all I did was some shading with blue and purple. Okay, so, the plan backfired. But I did add colored pencil anyway, and I think that really helped my colors to pop, and I did enjoy coloring this one. And so this was also, I did a little quick sketch headshot of this character in my sketchbook shortly after, kind of figuring out colors and finalizing the design and stuff. And with Fair Week coming up, I wanted to do one more piece just because I had to, and I wasn't sure I was satisfied with anything else. And they changed all their stuff, and I'm still annoyed with that because, I got ghosted when I asked where they had advertised their, change of dates and stuff last year. Got nothing. So, and all their categories kind of changed, so it feels like there's less and more vague to me. So, I don't know, I'm probably cheesing at least one or two of my entries, but you know what? I don't know what they want from me. I mean, there's not a specific spot for colored pencil. There's not a specific spot for this. There's not a specific spot for that. So they're getting what they're getting now. So yeah, I way rambled, lost track. But anyway, yeah, I mean, the process is there. You can see it. It's not that exciting, I guess. I just used a lot of blues and grays and stuff. And I did add a little bit of purple in some of the grays because I wanted to, just add a little bit of color interest in there, but it was already dark enough and enough layers that it didn't really take in a way that was noticeable. But I was actually very impressed with how smooth I got some of those colors. I'm not happy with all of my blends, but the dark gray areas did seem to go pretty well for me. And we all know how I am with dark colors. It's kind of a hit and miss thing. We all know how I am with pale colors. It's kind of a hit and miss thing too. I don't know, I guess the dark colors are a little easier to smooth out than the light colors. The light colors tend to feel like they get messy when I add the shading, especially the skin. It just, to me, it feels really messy and not very well blended. And I haven't quite figured out what I can do to fix that. So, hey, if anyone's got any suggestions, leave them down below in the comments for me, and I will read it ASAP. My phone doesn't send me my YouTube notifications like it used to, so sometimes it takes me a little while to remember to check and see if I got any comments on my videos, so apologize for slow replies, but I don't know how to kick my phone back into gear on the notification thing. There's a lot of sidetrack rambling here. But, yeah, anyway, so I do wonder if I went a little too dark on the hair or if I should have done the shading a little bit differently. Mostly kind of behind the head going down. Maybe there should have been a little bit more of a... a light blue in between there for more shading. But it is what it is now. So, anyway, this character I said was kind of a revived character. That makes it sound like this character is older than what it is. No, it was probably at least within the last year or something. I don't know. I don't keep track of my time frames very well. But, you know, I had worked on some different ideas for the concept, tried to play with some different colors, and I kind of just sat down and said, I'm going to figure this out. So technically, he's not really a human character, and he's technically a formless character, but for the sake of having, we'll say, an approachable appearance, this is what he's going to look like. And I'm working on other characters involved with him, because he's essentially a servant to a much higher power. And we'll put it that way for now. Maybe if I ever get around to the higher power characters, I will kind of talk about the connections a little bit more. But there's a little tidbit in there. Hopefully that was interesting. I don't know. I watched a video on how to make your people love your characters, and I don't know how much to give and how much to save. But anyway, yeah, so we took out a bunch of the shiny stuff. I used shiny metallic white paint for the highlights and the pearl powder stuff that I use for Cheyenne a lot. But yeah, let me know what you think down below. If you like the concept, if you would have done something different with this concept, different colors, different style, different hair, different clothes, different whatever. Just, I don't know. I like hearing ideas, so feel free to post them down below, or I have my Discord link in the description. And until next time, bye-bye!